Hey guys, what is going on? So Inferno pistol round strategies. I want to start with something more basic. So we've gone for a holes bust from FaZe. I'm going to end up with something a little bit more intricate from Team Liquid towards the B side. I want to start with something relatively basic because I know a lot of you do play in 5-man lineups, but you also probably play pugs. And this is a great strategy that we can call a variation of, just with 4 random teammates straight off the bat. And basically what's going to be is players gathering into the halls. You can see Nico's obviously also fighting towards Banana. And it's just going to be Guardian, the utility man, flashing over this apartment area. And you're going to see these players basically just bust out these halls, overwhelm the players in pit and on the site. And a smoke's going to come out after the flash from Guardian to stop any of those rotations coming in from Astralis in this instance. So let's start off talking about these players who get themselves into halls. And this is the reason I say it's such a good strategy for a pug, is you can literally say to your teammates, guys, go take apps, go to the end of halls, I'll flash you out, and you're going to see the rest is going to take care of it. There are smaller details we'll go into for if you are playing in a team, and I'll talk about them now. And it's more of the pathways these players take. So you can see they're all just taking halls together relatively simply. Carrigan is watching the back for a little bit. Olofmeister very close to Rain here, ready to bust out. And as this flash does come out from Guardian, I want to show you the pathway. So Rain's going to jump out and strafe in here towards Dig. And you can see if anyone was on the site in this instance, such as from this camera angle I've decided to choose, if you're strafing out there, that's a very hard shot for this player to hit. And obviously your crosshair is going to automatically follow the first player out of the apartments. It also helps, go back to Rain's point of view, he clears this diggity or short area if you're not from Australia, which allows Guardian, after clearing archers, to come back up and join the rest of the fight. So if we look back at these pathways, we can see the first player obviously strafes back towards the short area to help Guardian get up and also just distract the CT players who maybe aren't blinded from this flash. The second player is going to come out of apartments and he's just going to jump out and get ready to clear this pit. And then the third player is going to be up here kind of creating an Overwatch kind of scenario. He's going to be the one pivoting to wherever needs the most attention and just basically staying up there, always having his gun out, because obviously you are a little bit vulnerable in the air despite being hard to hit by the USPs in this scenario. So relatively simple, the pathways as I explained there, and just like that the pit guy is going to probably be wiped from the flash, the guy on site probably as well, and you're probably going to swarm such as you can see FaZe did in this particular scenario. Now, before we look at Nico's point of view, I want to go back to Guardians and talk about exactly how the strategy works. If we look at the map, you can see there's no real mid-wall or brackets pressure out from FaZe in this scenario. So if a team like Astralis was playing there, there's not a great indication that any A hit is actually coming in. I think this is the reason why Guardian decides to throw his flash first as opposed to a smoke. Other teams such as Liquid will actually throw the smoke first. You can see here, I'm just going to quickly edit it in somewhere. They actually throw 2 smokes first and run a very similar execute, nice little holes bust as well. But this scenario, Guardian, I think he wants the element of surprise, wants to flash first and then follow it with the smoke. So we'll see the flash over. This is the lineup like so. He's basically standing underneath this pot. It's just going to be a running jump throw. And the smoke as well in this corner here. So right against the edge of this wall, as you can see. And I think Guardian slightly misses this. It's actually to the top left corner of that rectangular pot plant you can see. And then as Guardian comes up, obviously he's going to check that arch side, which is dirty in this scenario, and then he's going to come up and join Rain in entering the site, swinging out nice and wide, and he decides he wants the USP in this scenario. And last off we have Nico. He has the P250, he's fighting towards top mid, obviously an area where a lot of CT players think they have the USP advantage, they want to try and get some information, such as Astralis did. Same thing towards Banana, and that's why he has been dropped this P250 by Guardian. You notice Guardian only has 1 flash and 1 smoke, so this spare little bit of cash for Nico. And Nico, being one of the best aimers in the world, is a great player to be taking these fights and really forcing these players back. And you see what this does to Zip. Makes it a little bit more difficult for him to try and get information because he knows this P250 is coming his way, and if he overextends, he's going to get pushed off or potentially punished by it. And Nico, he's going to be the one. I'm not sure if this is particularly part of the strat or just within the chaos. Nico thinks, all right, if they're an arch player, they're probably trying to rotate in to help out the pit player. He's going to come out here and just find his timing as this smoke pops towards Mini and Device is caught off guard. Yeah, probably one of the easier killed Nico's ever had. So that's Nico's point of view, basically just stopping any flank or Astralis getting too much information for an over rotation. You can see on the map right now, they actually had 2 players here because they couldn't rotate off that fast. They did end up rotating off, but Nico just applying that little bit of pressure towards top, mid and Banana just denies that little bit of information which could be important for the CT side. But that out of the way, that's basically the holes bust, all different variations, simple one for your pugs, or all these little details you can definitely throw in, such as the pathways, if you are in a 5-man lineup. Now onto that B executor